Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. The tension was undeniable from the opening moments of the week. The hospital lights hummed above Liam's bed as monitors beeped steadily, signaling that time was ticking and answers were needed. Steffi sat beside him, her hand clutching his with a quiet intensity that masked her internal storm. She whispered words of encouragement, but the weight of what had happened to Liam bore heavily on her. Doctors finally returned with his updated chart, revealing what everyone feared. The head trauma had caused more than just physical harm. Liam was conscious, but disoriented. His memory flickered, pieces missing, emotions confused. It wasn't amnesia, but it was something more complicated, an emotional haze that left him questioning what mattered, and who he even was in the landscape of his tangled life. Hope visited later that day, her presence a contrast to the sterile surroundings. Her voice trembled as she tried to speak to Liam, reminding him of their shared life, of their daughter, of the choices they made. But Liam's reaction was far from what she expected. He looked at her with a foggy sadness, as though part of him recognized her, but the emotional tether had frayed. He didn't pull away, but he didn't reach for her either. And in that uncertain space, Hope realized that the Liam she'd been fighting to hold on to might not return to her in the way she imagined. It wasn't rejection. It was detachment. Something deeper. Something damaged. Steffi, watching from outside, wrestled with guilt. Was her involvement in Liam's life part of what had brought him to this place? Was her presence a comfort or a curse? She confided in Ridge, who told her not to blame herself. But Steffi couldn't ignore the sense that everything around her was unraveling. And just as she was finding her strength, Taylor returned with her own storm brewing. Taylor had stayed away for weeks, avoiding the complications of Ridge and Brooke, the awkward peace with Steffi, and the reminders of a love that never fully healed. But she came back now with purpose. Her heart was heavy, and she needed to speak the truth she'd held in too long. She met with Ridge alone, quiet. Their conversation started carefully, but soon turned raw. Taylor told Ridge that she had been holding out hope, that somewhere, deep down, she believed they still had a future. Ridge listened, quietly, then gently admitted what Taylor had long suspected but never wanted to hear. He had moved on. Fully. Irrevocably. The words landed like stones in Taylor's chest. She tried to keep her composure, nodding, smiling faintly, saying she understood. But when she walked out of the room, she broke. She found herself alone in the Forrester guest house, facing a mirror, seeing not the strong, composed psychiatrist the world knew, but a woman who had waited too long for a love that had already passed her by. She collapsed into a chair, silent tears streaming down her face, mourning not just Ridge, but the time she'd lost believing in a possibility that never stood a chance. Meanwhile, Brooke was discovering something unexpected. Her relationship with Ridge had settled into calm territory. No more drama, no more secrets. But for the first time in a long while, she wasn't defining herself through him. She met with Katie over coffee, the two sisters sharing a rare moment of levity. Brooke revealed that she'd been considering stepping away from the fashion chaos for a while, maybe starting something new. Katie was surprised but supportive. Brooke spoke of an opportunity to invest in a wellness retreat, something she stumbled upon during a recent trip. It wasn't about business. It was about healing, about rediscovering herself. As Brooke began exploring this fresh path, she also reconnected with someone unexpected, an old flame from before Ridge, who reached out to congratulate her on a recent charitable event. Their phone conversation was casual at first, but there was warmth. A flicker. Not romance, not yet. But the memory of who she once was before the cycle of Forrester drama consumed her. And that, more than anything, was what gave Brooke pause. Maybe her story wasn't about reclaiming lost love. Maybe it was about redefining what love should mean for her now. Back at the hospital, Liam's condition fluctuated. There were moments of clarity, especially when he saw his daughter. That spark of paternal instinct never faded. But when it came to Hope or Steffi, his emotional compass wavered. Finn, now balancing his duties as a doctor and a stepfather, observed Liam carefully. He shared his insights with Steffi, suggesting that Liam may be facing something deeper than trauma, possibly a depressive dissociation caused by years of emotional turmoil and personal loss. It would take time, therapy, and patience, not just to heal his brain, but his soul. Hope, heartbroken but resolute, made a decision. She told Brooke she was stepping back, not giving up, but giving Liam space. She would continue to be there for their daughter, but she wouldn't push anymore. Brooke, surprised, asked if she was sure. Hope nodded. She said, "I've spent so long trying to save Liam from everything around him, but maybe what he really needs is to save himself." Elsewhere, Taylor visited Steffi. The two shared a quiet, emotional evening over tea, speaking of the loves they had lost and the lives they were still trying to rebuild. Taylor finally admitted that she was stepping away too, not just from Ridge, but from the idea that her happiness depended on anyone else. She was considering going back to Paris. Not to run, but to breathe. To rebuild. Steffi, emotional, told her mother she admired her strength, even if it came near its end. A new rhythm settled over the Forresters, the Logans, and those caught in between. Liam began physical therapy. Small steps. Fragile progress. Each day he said a little more. He smiled at his daughter. He asked about work, even joked lightly with Wyatt. But when asked about Hope or Steffi, he grew quiet, as if the emotional weight was still too much to sort through. Ridge remained at Brooke's side, though even he could feel the shift in her energy. She wasn't clinging to him like before. She was grounded now, focused, and perhaps a little out of reach. Friday brought a few surprises. A scene between Bill and Taylor revealed something fans hadn't seen in a while, an honest moment of mutual pain. Bill, once confident and unstoppable, seemed more subdued, admitting he'd been thinking about his life and choices. Taylor, still wounded, didn't engage in flirtation, but she offered understanding. For a moment, these two longtime enemies found connection in their shared experience of loss. Hope received a letter from Liam, his first effort at communicating in his own words. It was short, honest, confused. He thanked her, said he loved her, but also admitted he didn't know what the future held. Hope cried as she read it, not from despair, but because it was real. No promises, no illusions, just truth. And perhaps that's what this week was really about. The truth. Stripped of illusions, free of false hope. Taylor learned it through heartbreak. Liam faced it through pain. Brooke embraced it as a fresh start. And everyone else, caught in their own tangled webs, began to see that maybe, just maybe, it was time to stop chasing what used to be and start discovering what could still be. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.